Yeah, when I first met Kyle and his team, they came out to Northwestern College, and so I met him at my office, and I was skeptical too, because I've done this kind of citywide planning, citywide outreach for, I don't know, 18 years now. And so I did a lot with Mike and Jim and others over the years. And so we've seen kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Sometimes people come in from the outside and they don't have this city's interests at mind. They say they do, but really they don't. And so, I don't really want to play with those people anymore. So, by the way, I kind of have the spiritual gift of discouragement, if you haven't noticed. So I have to use it occasionally. But so, I asked them a lot of hard questions. I tried to vet them to see their heart, not just see kind of the rah-rah stuff. And I was impressed with what I heard. And it is about the kingdom of God. It is about this city. And it's not about money or programs or just a big event kind of thing. It's a process thing, and he'll tell you more. And so when I heard that, it stirred my heart. And I thought about, how do we reach our city? And if you've read the book by Malcolm Gladwell, Tipping Point, this is how it works. And most of us don't think like this, but I think it's even biblical. I see biblical models. I'll give you one example in a minute. But you guys came today. You guys are the innovators. And when I met with Kyle and his team, they said, well, what churches should we meet with? And should we just have one meeting? And I said, no, have a variety of meetings, have them in different places, have them in neutral places like a library, and let's invite the innovators. Let's not invite everyone, because not everyone gets it. And so, I said, let's just start with the innovators. If they don't get it, nobody's going to get it. And so we did. So we invited you to come. I have files on all of you. Sorry, I'm Jason Bourne, but I do. And so that's part of it. So we identified who gets it. Who are the people that already get kingdom? That's who we want to work with. So in this city, probably 3-4% of churches are kind of innovators, pastors and leaders like you guys. But you hang out with another group of people, 13-14%, in your denomination or in your neighborhood, or through their networks like Jim's network and other networks, John's and others. And so you guys connect with others in your stream, theological stream or neighborhood stream or whatever stream you're in. And so you have influence over there. So if you guys jump in, they'll follow, or they'll connect, or they'll hear about it from you. And then what we have in the middle is what we call the silent majority. 34% are the early majority, 34% are late majority. They usually don't say one way or the other. They might come in later, but they might not. And then at the end we have the laggards, and they lag behind. They're kind of the tail trying to wag the dog, and they usually don't jump in. They'll give you 1,000 reasons not to do it. And even if you meet all those reasons, they're still not going to do it. You could pay them $1 million and they wouldn't do it. And so, but the point is they loud. They talk loud, and they do have some influence too. But they're still not going to join you. So to change this city, we don't need 100% of the churches. We need the Gideon 300. And we need both 10 to 20% of pastors, leaders, churches, lay people that get it, that want to do something at the local level in their neighborhood, not just a big, wide, citywide thing, but in their neighborhood. And this is how it's always worked through all of history. And if you can get that 10 to 20%, that will cause a tipping point. You're never going to get some over there, so you don't worry about it. So when Paul went to Athens, he walked around the city in Acts 17. He saw all the same stuff he'd see in Minneapolis or St. Paul. And he went to where the people were. He went to the mall. They went to the Mall America and reached out to people. Look at one of the videos. The guy's weeping and stuff. And they just went to where the people were. And then they went to the Agora, the marketplace, and they connected with people. And Paul preached in their own language. He didn't, preach some language that the people didn't know. And then guess what? In Acts 17, when you read it, a few people said, this is great, sign me up. It only mentions 3 or 4 names. And some said, I want to hear more later. They're interested, but they're following what's going on. And then the rest over here said Paul's drunk, Paul's crazy, Paul's a babbler, Paul's advocating foreign gods, Paul's, get Paul out of here. And Paul started the church with this little small group of 3-4 people that said, sign me up. So when we look to our city, those are the people we want to reach. God's got people ready. The fields are ripe, the workers are few. But also when we talk about getting ready for reaching out, we got to look and see who are those churches and pastors and leaders, ministry leaders that get it. And so you guys get it. You guys are the innovators. And that's where we want to start. And you guys know the city, you know your neighborhoods, you know the people you're trying to reach better than me, better than Kyle ever will. And so this is where we need to connect. And you know the right fields, where to go and what to do. And it's not a cookie cutter kind of model. So just to give you some highlights, look at these sheets that I handed out. Look at this one first, the fold here. Turn it sideways. You can see these are a number of churches, or they're not a church, a mosque, or a witch coven, or whatever you want to call it. These are like ministry sites. And you can see that number 3, above Catholic churches, is witch covens. And we are Paganistan, we're Paganistan, we're the witch capital of America. And then you can see we have more mosques than BGC churches. We have more Buddhist temples than free churches, Covenant, CMA. And then turn it over to the other side, and it lists how many actually attend. Not members, but attenders, okay? That's different. I'm probably a member of churches I haven't been to for 25 years. But these are attenders. So unless you're Catholic, the Muslims are ahead of all your denominations. We have more Buddhists than Baptists. Again, Jews, Hindus, Mormons. We have 5 of the top 10 groups don't even claim to be Christian. So we got a mission field right here in our own city, which you know already. And so we got a lot of work to do here. And again, if you look on the other sheet, you'll see other things there that jump out at you. And just like Kyle said, God's at work in this city through your churches, through others. But Satan's at work too. And we're not dualists. God's more powerful than Satan. But there is spiritual warfare. And these other groups claim this city. They claim it not for Jesus, but they claim it for their own false god or whatever. And so they're going to build the largest mosque in America in Minneapolis. It's going to cost $48 million. The largest church in Minnesota costs $48 million, Grace Church, Eden Prairie. So we're going to have a mega mosque in our city. They want to reach America from this city. We have the largest Cambodian Buddhist temple down by Sherry's house by Lakeville, Farmington, Hampton. They see it as a mission field. Up in Maple Grove, the largest Hindu temple in North America, $22 million, 20 acres of land. Sherry and I, we took a tour for a church there. 21 different gods and goddess idols in that facility. They see this as their mission field. And then the witch covens and obviously all the people groups God's brought to the city. So this city is ripe for the harvest, but it's also in a deep spiritual warfare that most people don't see or even are aware of. And when Kyle said, who should we reach out to? Again, this shows his heart. He doesn't want to just reach the easy ones. He said, give me the list of the top 10 hardest people groups or geography to reach. And so I did. I said, there's Saudi Arabians, go for it. There's this group, that group, Uptown, this neighborhood, the U of M. And so he wants to go after not the low-lying fruit. He wants to go after all the fruit, even the tough fruit to get. So again, that showed me his heart, that it's not just some let's do it quick and easy. Let's pour into the city and let's help them at least start seeing or reaching hard-to-reach groups as well as the easy or easier groups. So I'm preaching a sermon. We should take an offering. But anyways, I'll just let Kyle fill in the blanks. So thank you guys.